Hey everybody, this is JDGaming back today with a discussion video on smoke screening. So over the last couple weeks we talked about side decking, both building and then utilizing the deck that you've created to best prepare in between games for your particular matchups. And the concept of smoke screening is something you may be familiar with if you play a different type of card game. Pretty much the idea is you take your entire side deck, throw it into your main, shuffle it up, and then you pull out however many cards you want to fill up your entire side deck again. So in Yu-Gi-Oh's case, since you have to swap equally as a 1-to-1 exchange, if you start with a 15 card side, you'd put all 15 in, pull out 15 cards you don't want, and then you'd be set to begin the match. The idea with smoke screening is that you don't give your opponent any extra information. In this game, you can have a minimum 40 card deck, max 15 card extra, and a max 15 card side. But the thing is, other than those deck counts that you have, there's really no reason to give your opponent any knowledge as to how many cards you're siding in for a matchup. So this is actually something that isn't all that relevant right now when the format is pretty much defined. If I'm playing against Cosmos, for instance, my opponent will probably know that I'm going to be siding in things like Chaos Hunter or Imperial Iron Wall with something like System Down or Cyber Dragon. But the idea here is, let's say you go into the next format and there's a back row heavy deck. If you play 2 or 3 cards all together, then that could telegraph to your opponent that you're siding in something like Royal Decree or Trap Stun, and then that might give them the knowledge that they need to be able to keep their copies of Twin Twisters in their deck so that they don't get thwarted by your Floodgate. So that's just one particular example, but as the format becomes open in the next couple weeks, when hopefully the new Forbidden and Limited list will be announced, you don't really want to give your opponent any additional information to work with if your best side deck picks are completely new shock factor cards that you want to get maximal impact out of. So that would be some of the pros to actually doing the smoke screening technique, but you have to consider, on the other hand, it is a lot of work to make sure that you're pulling everything out of your side every single time. It's just the fact that you have to go and manipulate the cards that you don't necessarily have to do if you're playing online or casually with your friends. So there is that kind of an annoyance aspect to that. And then you have to wonder, is it actually worth it? Does it make that much of a difference? So down in the comments below, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter. What, in your experience, is the benefit of smoke screening, hiding the number of cards that you're actually siding in? Do you feel like keeping your opponent guessing as to how many cards you've sided in actually helps, or is it just more trouble than it's worth? So love to hear your thoughts on that. This is JD Gaming. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.